Good evening to all. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. It is a pleasure to talk to you guys on this evening night. We are in Amsterdam. Over here, it is the 3rd of August, and the time over here it is 10:38 at night. We had a long flight. It was a 9-hour, 45-minute flight. Of course, we're a little bit jet lag off hours, but still, we landed in Amsterdam today. As you know, there has been a lot of situations which they have been involved in this beautiful country of the Netherlands. And as the great Michael Young and also the great Chuck Holton have been doing investigations over here on this side of the planet. We landed on this country around 2:45 in the evening today. Right now it is 10:38. As you can see behind me, it's late at night. And one of the things that we landed right here is to investigate the global crisis that existing on the food crisis, ultimately that has been also put out by the great Michael Young and Chuck Holton. But also, one of the things that is the global agenda, how it is all manifesting over here. It is all controlled. Sadly, the farmers are being kicked out of their own properties because of the environmentalists. This is one of the things that is they're using the Netherlands or Amsterdam as a manifesto for the environmentalist agenda. And it's all tied up with mass migration with open borders, as also the Netherlands that is suffering from mass migration and the sanctions right now on the farmers that they're from the Netherlands are extremely devastating. These farmers, they are possibly one of the best farmers in the world. One of the most fertile lands in the world are stationed right here in the country's parts of the Netherlands. And we had a great interview today with one of the farmers who has been greatly affected, which we are going to work right now to work uh, on an edit a video for all of you guys. Right here, we're back. We're back. It says that I was currently offline, but I don't know if we're back right here. If you guys can just shout out a comment if we are back on the screen, I will greatly appreciate it. If not, I'm going to continue. I am today we went to the country area to basically talk to the people that they are being greatly affected by this globalist agenda, which is basically the has to do with the Great Reset. It has to do with it has to do with all of the the World Economic Forum. It has to do with all of this, and they're using the Netherlands as a manifesto, as an exam to how to change into the progressive environmentalist agenda. Over here, you cannot drive a fuel emissions car into certain neighborhoods. You will be fined. Over here, you cannot. The progressive transgenderism and all that is full on in effect. Over here, they're trying to take away the land from the farmers to build. That's one of the theories, to build housing for the migrants that are coming in because of the lack of procreation, and they want to grow on that specific factor. So their mass migration, that is one of the reasons why it's coming. Uh, it is unbelievable what is happening over here on this side of the land. Uh, as we landed today, I'm extremely tired. I'm not gonna lie. It was a long flight, 10-hour flight, and as soon as we got here, we had a, I'm with the great Chuck Holton, and with Mark Tomlett also, and we had a scheduled. He had a scheduled interview with a with this important individual in the in the farming industry, and how they're getting basically hammered over here. It is sadly happening. These environmentalists, they think that by taking away the land and taking away, the properties of the farmers, they will save, they will save the planet by making people, stopping people from farming. That is an unbelievable thing. And also from, the cattle, they don't want them to be using cattle anymore. It's incredible how also the global agenda, how it's affected the Netherlands, with mass migration, and not only that, with the progressiveness of every single globalist agenda, which it is just, it shocked me over here how they're so strict, and it shocked me not only that they're so strict with restrictions, but they're so strict with every single thing, and it's just, it's shocking how this globalist, progressive elitists, they're continuing to destroy freedom, and it's just unbelievable. And over here, it is really a shocker. As my first day in Europe, my first day in Amsterdam, and we're going to continue our road to other countries. I'm going to put out right now. I have some editing to do, and I have a lot of editing to do in terms to the first investigative report that we're going to put out. If you guys want to go and search for locals, that is where I'm going to be putting out the first video. It's 10:45 over here. I'm extremely tired, but I will try to do it as much as fast as I can. And we got an early upper tomorrow, so it's just unbelievable. Really, for me, right here, it's a beautiful country. Uh, really, it is. The Netherlands is a beautiful country, which is called Países Bajos in Spanish. But the way that they're destroying the products, the way that they're destroying food, the way that this country it's going on a food crisis, is just unbelievable. And undeniably, this is trickling into the West, and the farmers. People already know here that this is going to increasingly go into and move into the West. So I will be putting up a interview video of what we did today uh, in the platform of locals. Apologize if I'm stumbling a little bit. I'm a little bit tired. It has been a long, 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 long day. And it's just it's a long flight, and we got to give a quick shout out to the man that has been exposing this from the start. That has been Michael Young. I have said it multiple times, and also Mr. Chuck Holton, that he has been exposing what has been happening with the food crisis over here in the Netherlands. It is a crisis, really, it's a catastrophe. What they're trying to do, these globalists, all these Carl Schwabs, all these people in Davos, that they are just preaching to the choir, and they're just false narratives, and basically it's just shock. I'm really in shock. The way that they have their life over here, it's just I and some of us are really, and I will dare to say, some Americans are really pandered into what they have in terms to freedom. And when you come over here and you see what they're actually doing to their land, what they're actually trying to steal, what they're actually trying to take away from people. Food, they're trying to control you, what you eat. They're trying to control the transportation, where you go, how do you swipe your card, how much credit do you have. And and in the US you have people, you have young kids that they're complaining about getting paid 13 $14 an hour, or not saying their pronouns correctly. It is so stupid, really. This is the only way that I got to describe it. The way that some other people are not appreciating what they have in terms to these countries that are radically changing into a global effect is just unbelievable. And it is all tied up with mass migration. One, there's a huge amount of kilometers of farming, acres, hectares, and all of that, they're trying to take it away from the farmers to convert it into housing, for the mass migration that is occurring, uh, into the Netherlands. That is one of the things that I was more in shock of hearing it. That I was like, wow, it is all exactly copy paste the same of what is happening in other countries. And basically, the end game is to people not reproduce in their own land, and to this is the replacement theory. It comes to a float. I don't want to be a conspiracy guy. I don't like to not be factual about this, but in my gut, what I'm feeling, it is just the depopulation. What they're doing, it is actually a fact, and it is actually a reality of how they are managing the depopulation agenda. How they are, everything is all online, everything is all unchecked. And the Netherlands, it is a manifesto of what they're preaching in Davos, what they're preaching with this globalist agenda, what they're preaching with this environmentalist agenda, that is actually destroying life. It's not aiding and abetting life to continue, it is destroying life. And by destroying life, you got to destroy what you eat, you got to destroy procreation, you have to destroy all the laws of life, and they are actually destroying this. And it is a reality. Netherlands, it is such a beautiful country. We went through there. We went through some countrysides. It's actually beautiful. The houses are beautiful. The people are so nice over here. All this white supremacy stupidity of all these progressive liberals of the U.S. It's just that people. I'm I'm weird, but I'm basically possibly one of the few Mexicans over here. But all of them treated me really nicely, respectfully in the airport, in the restaurants, walking around outside. Nobody treats you differently. It is just this stupidity agenda ideology which they are implementing in our brains in the West, and it is progressively escalating. And in terms to really what it's all tied up, to destroy one of the greatest countries that is in the world, that is the United States. It is over here. It is over here. It is actually, you will see the manifesto of pure 100% environmentalism over here in the Netherlands. It is, if you want to, wow, I don't want to get too deep on the gender identity, all that crap, but over here it is just out of this world. You will see. It's just Amsterdam. It's just completely upside down, and it is such a beautiful place. They're actually trying to block tourism also over here also. So it's one of the things that it makes you think about what we actually have. That is freedom. Really, what we have still, it is a lot of freedom. We need to combat only the bad ideology people that they are destroying our countries, which is this identity nonsense, which is this, lawlessness that is occurring in our borders. You're just watching what is happening in the borders right now. I just saw that there was a gunman on the part of Texas that has been happening for years, but nobody has put attention to it until now. You have seen those people walking around with guns, on the other side of the border. We have been telling you that there's a cartel war on the other side of the border for the longest of time. These people are armed, they are dangerous, they have sophisticated artillery, they have state of the art technology. They have that on the other side of the border in Mexico. We have told you that. And they're actually one of the most epicenters right now, which is suffering from violence and increasingly suffering from insecurity. It is Sonoita. It is on the other part of Sonora. It is the state close to Arizona. I shown you in Tijuana how they were fighting on an open gap next to San Diego, California. All where these open gaps and where you have all these open gaps, border gaps next to the United States, all of them, the cartel, it is armed, it is dangerous, they're relentless, they will absolutely do whatever it takes to control it. And I ask you guys a question. Last time that I was talking about this, I asked a clear question to you guys because this is so openly happening in the U.S. Why no congressional, no senator, no politician in the U.S. is doing anything about this? Is not up, is not, rising their voice to say what the hell is going on over here. We got this problem right here in the border. Why we're not doing anything about it? And it looks, and I'm asking this question legitimately, openly to all of you. A lot of the people in the US are complaining that politicians in Mexico are corrupt and they're aligned with the cartel. It is time for us to ask the same question. you know what do you think about your politicians being aligned to the organized crime? It is continuing to happen, and it is just undeniably, something that it's not stopping. It is continuing. It has a progressive agenda. It has an end game. A lot of, the end game is, a lot of it has to do with depopulation, and a lot of it has to do, even Kamala Harris herself said depopulation is what we need and what we want. It is all tied up to the environmentalists. It's all tied up to open border policies. And now you're seeing that these people are relentlessly on the other side of Mexico, not being ashamed anymore. It's not that they just found out today that they're not ashamed. They have been not having shame for the longest of time. These cartel individuals, these organized crime leaders, they have been riding along our streets with their guns, with their automobiles, picking up people, extracting people, kidnapping people in the middle of the day, shootouts in the middle of the day. Now you see a gunman in the middle of the river, and now you're like, oh my God, we need to do something about it. You have to be doing something about it since the longest of time. The government of the United States it's letting this happen, and it is sad to say, and it is sad to see this, that you have a lawlessness border where, on the other side of the border you have the greatest country that is the United States, but it's not actually doing anything about it. And if the actual government of the United States will step in and say, this is what we need to do, believe me, these kind of situations, being on an open window and an open hours, doing this at whatever time, it would not be happening like this. This is not having shame. This is just being doing it out of just plain daylight. And we have seen it. We I lived in Mexico all my life. We have gone through this all of our lives. And I remember back in 2005, 2006, 2007, it was horrible. It was horrible. They were doing it in plain and in daylight. And now, the human trafficking business, it is surpassing drug trafficking business, it is surpassing the fentanyl business. And they're doing it in plain daylight. Why? Because they're not afraid of what the US is going to do. That is the problem. The organized crime is not afraid of what the US is going to do. Every government that does not have the balls to do something about it, they're not afraid of what the other country is going to do or what the other border is going to do. What is happening right here where we are at in the Netherlands, it is a globalist country, but it's not a globalist. Well, it's turning into a globalist country, and it's led by, they don't have a president right now, which I heard of. President resigned because, imagine, the president is a globalist over here in the Netherlands, and he resigned because he said that it was too much. Imagine how bad is it. So imagine you have an uncontrollable country where you have all these globalist ideas, and the actual groups that they control this globalist agenda, they're surpassing the law, and that is what actually is happening on every border. Open border policies do not work, and this opens up to the automatic destruction of the culture, of the legitimacy of sovereignty, of the legitimacy of identity of a country, of a law and order country, of having a regular, documented, peaceful migration. They completely, they completely destroy that, and and that we're actually seeing it over here. So how's everybody doing? Really quick video, 20 minutes in. I'm gonna have to let you guys go. I have to edit a video. It's 11 o'clock over here. I'm extremely tired, and I want to just drop by. Uh, you know, uh, uh, you know, and also when I say combat, is we need to fight this off like civil citizens. Not like radically being saying it. Uh, so I wanted to drop by, say hello. We are going to drop our first report tonight, hopefully tonight, if I have the time and the strength to do it. I'm extremely tired. It's been a long flight, long day. And for everybody to know, I'm with the great Chuck Holton. If you guys want to go and see his reports, you can follow him at the Hot Zone with Chuck Holton. Uh, and later on, we will be meeting my brother Ben, Ben Berquam over here in Europe, as we are going to go through several countries in Europe. It is going to be a long trip, but a really enjoyable one. And ultimately, we have it's a purpose for us to make it over here and to expose what is happening. The great Michael Young has been talking about this. Even Jordan Peterson came and interviewed the same guy that we interviewed today. Jordan Peterson sat down and interviewed him. Also, the table that we were sitting down today, Jordan Peterson was there also with the great Michael Young. So this is a big issue. What is happening over here in the Netherlands? As every global country, it is, they do these communists, these elitists, these leaders, they use countries to put their example of what their agenda and what they need to do. Look what they did to Cuba. Look what they did to Venezuela. They do their manifestos and they say this is the way that it needs to be done. Look what they're doing to China, and uh, apparently right now the Netherlands is another country that is being slammed. So sadly, we are going to put out sadly that is happening over here. So good night. Have a great night. I think that Anonymous, thanks so much for the coffee. Buy me a coffee is right there, pinned in the chat. If you guys like to support our journeys, it would be greatly appreciated now that we are over here in Europe. It will be greatly appreciated if you guys support our trip. Thank you so much for everybody that is contributing. I'm gonna have to go and take a rest, edit a video, and take a rest as tomorrow. We are going to head out early in the morning. We got another country to go early in the morning. I think that we are going tomorrow to France. So God bless you guys. Stay safe. We have a lot of things to document still, so we need to do the best that we can. Nice talking to you guys all the way from Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. What the hell? Yeah. I'm over here in Amsterdam. When I landed today, and I was waiting for my luggage. And I was looking at all the people. I'm like, these people are not from Latin America, man. There's something wrong right here. Possibly I'm the one that is out of place. There's nice people, man. There's really nice people over here. God bless you guys. Stay safe. And remember, God's plan is our mission.